Well, hello everyone, Texy88 here and welcome to my latest review. And now we're taking a look at the Commodore 64 version of Crossout after having previously looked at the Sinclair ZX Spectrum and Amstrad CPC versions. And previously having looked at the 16-bit Commodore Amiga version a few years ago. So this particular version, published by Rainbow Arts in 1989, written by Jörg Prenzing, graphics by Andreas Escher, sound by FAME, Fame. I don't know whether that's supposed to be pronounced as a word or not, but that's who's responsible for this version. So now we've just loaded up the shop sequence. So we'll pick the cheapest ship. I'm just going to try some. Oh, so the Melob actually works in this version. So I'm going to tool up. Oh, I can't afford that. At least with the sound effects, it makes it clear whether or not you can't afford something. And the fact that Melob works means it doesn't matter if you don't know how much something's going to cost before you've committed to it. And now we're done. I'm going to set the ship I want to start with. I've got a choice between that one or that one. I think I'm going to stick with that one. So I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing in this to cut out loading times and keep the length of the video as small as possible. So you've actually got music in this version, unlike the other two 8-bit versions I've reviewed. And it's running at a sensible speed. Scrolling's nice and smooth. I mean, scrolling was a little bit jerky on the Spectrum version. Wasn't too bad on the Amstrad CPC version, especially given that particular version, computer struggles with scrolling at the best of times. Oh, God, damn it. I got hit by that missile. And the missiles that you fire are not the same colour as the ones that the enemy fire, which makes it very clear as to which of the missiles are fired by you and which ones are fired by the enemy. I'm not even attempting to shoot that one. But this is looking really good so far. And admittedly, that's a much smaller than the equivalent in the other versions I've played. Oh, God. Oh, that's a good start, isn't it? So here we are back at the shop again. So let's do our usual. Another one and beef that firepower up a bit. That's all I can really afford, so let's just get straight onto the game. And this time I've given myself 3 lives. So let's get ready and go and have another go at this time with a third life. And So one thing that's interesting is that unlike the other versions, if you have the twin shot like I've got here, they go diagonally down and across, whereas this one goes diagonally up and across. That's actually a bit of a problem, and that's what one thing that's going to count against this version. That and the fact that the things in the enemies in this do rather too much damage. I mean, I've only been hit by bullets so far, and I've lost tons of shield. Oh god. Music's good. I recognise this as being the same tune that Chris Hughes-Becker did for the Amiga version. Everything just feels right. It's not too fast like the Spectrum version and Amstrad CPC version were. The Spectrum version in particular ran way too quickly and became and the playability suffered as a result. Got to watch out for that because that shot killed me instantly. There's no rider, and this machine's generally not as long as it was in the other versions. But if that's shit, but if that's what it takes to keep, a decent frame rate, then so be it. It's gameplay that matters in the end, rather than. I see the riders actually not riding on the machine, so the overall effect's the same. Oops. See, look how much damage that missile did. It's half my health bar, well, not health, shield bar already. So you've got to shoot those missiles, otherwise they'll hit you and decimate your shield. Right, on we go. Yeah. I hate to say it, but even though I grew up with the ZX Spectrum as my 8-bit machine, this is the best of the 3 8-bit versions I've played. It feels right, it's not, the speed's about right. It's not deathly silent. I mean, especially for the Amstrad CPC version, there was no excuse for it to be complete, for it to have such poor sound and no in-game music. Yeah, and for the 128K Spectrum version, they're the same problem I had with that. I mean, why was there no music even in that version? It's Windows, that's the same sound chip. Darn it. Oh god, my energy shit. Going almost at the boss. I wonder if I can use the same trick. Oh, there's only one tube. There are 2 tubes in the Amiga version for this boss. Now I'm going to see if this same technique that works for the Amiga version, staying in this top left corner, works for this. A little bit flickery, but I can live with that. Yes, it does, by the looks of things. So might we see level 1, 2 of this game in this review? Possible. But unfortunately, because I lost that ship earlier, it means I've got one less ship to contend with. So as long as I get enough money from slash points from this. I mean, am I even harming it? I mean, I know I was in the Amiga version, so and that's 16-bit, so I'd be surprised if I wasn't harming it. But it'd be nice if it could give some kind of indication to whether or not I'm harming it. But this is still a damn good version. Just such a shame that both the other 8-bit versions I played could have had a decent feel to them and had some AY, and particularly with the exception, yes, that did work. So I got level bonus there. So back in the shop, and as you can see, because I died during that previous level, I don't have 3 ships the way I did previously, but what I do have is more money to beef up the weaker of the 2. So I'm going to put this in the Melob. Yes! Now we're doing some serious cooking. And unlike the other 2 8-bit versions, we've all got the choice of the 3 different strengths of the 3 different types of fire. That was totally absent from this Spectrum and Amstrad versions. So let's beef up the other one. No, I either can't. I don't think that's a money issue. It's more a case of I can't put that much on the machine issue. Because there is a limit to how much you can put on the weaker ships. So I may as well buy another ship. Oh, the more expensive ships can hold more weaponry. I can't afford that. I'm going to switch that for a double shot. And hope that, I don't know. On second thoughts. I'm going to switch it for a weaker triple shot. Because I can't afford the full strength one. Onto level 1, 2, and I'm going to pause again. And here we are at the start of level 1, 2. We've got different tunes, nice. They've kept the different tunes I remember from the Amiga version. Yeah, I still can't help feeling that things do way too much damage. And that didn't touch. I didn't even touch. Oh shit! Well, how am I going to get out of that? Oh, piss! So I think I'm going to end the review there. I don't want it to go on for too long. So that was Crossout for the Commodore 64. Generally a very good version. Definitely best of the 3 8-bit versions I've reviewed. Even though I did have the Spectrum as a kid, I have to concede in the case of this particular game, and that the Commodore 64 version is the best version out of the 3. Not just because of the music. It genuinely plays better, and has those additional shop options that are not in the Spectrum and Amstrad versions, such as the 3 different strengths of the 3 different types of shots. Those were nowhere to be seen in the shop section in the Spectrum and Amstrad versions, and I was able to get the Melob in the bottom right corner to actually work. I couldn't get that to work at all in those other 2 versions. Graphics, yeah, they're fine. They probably as good as you're going to get on a Commodore 64. They're a little bit blocky, but there's not too much in the way of grey. So I can. So I'm satisfied with what's there. There's nothing that's too hard to see. Nothing. Every single bullet was clear. And so I was never in any doubt as to what I could fly through and what I couldn't. The animation's quite good. I noticed even in this 8-bit version, the ship was tipping as I steered it, just like it did in the other versions. Sound, well, you got the SID chip doing its stuff. I mean, not only during the intro where you hear the voice "get ready for a cross out" that man says at the start, and you also get tunes that I recognised from the Amiga version I'd played previously. Sound effects are pretty good too. Not the best I've heard on the Commodore 64, but still pretty good. Gameplay, well, as I said a few moments ago, everything generally feels right. Some of the hit detection was a bit iffy, and there was that bit with the with the circular section in that level 1-2, which seemed like you were pretty much forced to go through very quickly in order to stand a chance of getting through without taking a knock. Scrolling smooth. The fact that the double shot goes up and right rather than down and right, it adversely impacts on gameplay a little bit though, and which is a bit of a shame, because it meant that the process I used to take out the first boss can only be done if you've got one of the triple shots. If you've got double shot or even single shot, then you're going to have to take a risk and hope you don't have that skull head fly straight into you and kill you instantly. But the biggest problem is that I have with this particular version is that even the bullets do far too much damage. If they'd toned down the amount of damage that things did, it would have made it a bit more bearable. But this is still an enjoyable version to play, and if I had a Commodore 64 and bought this, I wouldn't be overly disappointed with it. Generally, it works as it should, and it's fun to play, and it's a bit different to other shoot 'em ups of its time. So I'm going to give the Commodore 64 version of Crossout 7 out of 10. It's only really the problems I had with the double shot and and even bullets doing far too much damage that slightly ruined the experience. But this is still a commendable version, and I would, and definitely, as I said, the best out of the 3 8-bit the main computer versions, at least the 3 that I've reviewed. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. Hope to catch you on another video soon. Texie88 out.